Hey, what's up everyone? TJ here. Today we're out snowboarding in Cardrona, New Zealand, and I want to talk about the first 5 flat ground or butter tricks that I'd recommend to learn. They're going to help you have more fun as you're riding flatter sections of the mountain or really just cruising anywhere at the resort. Let's get into it. So the first one I want to bring up is going to be the most fundamental butter trick. It's going to get you used to shifting your weight over the nose and tail of your board and flexing the board. So we're just going to do the basic tail press. So to do this one, you're going to want to shift your hips over your back foot towards the tail of the snowboard. There's a couple of ways you could do this. You could simply just shift your hips back, or you can kind of scoot your back foot under your hips. When you're moving, I feel like that's a little bit more natural. And then you're gonna lean into your back leg, keeping your front leg straight and your back leg bent. That's gonna get you into the press and flex the board out. So it's gonna look kind of like this. Once you're leaned in over your back foot to balance, you're gonna wanna keep your weight stacked over your back leg. So your shoulders over your hips, over your knee, over your back ankle. And you can kind of modulate your balance and the flex of the snowboard by how much you bend your knee. So as you straighten your leg, it's gonna move your hips out a little bit further, can bend your knee more to control that balance and control the flex. One thing I would recommend is not moving your hips too far out past your back leg. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to balance. But those are going to be all the fundamentals of a tail press. You can practice stationary first, go slow and try it, and then maybe even move on to boxes or something like that. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is the exact opposite of the tail press, the nose press. Okay, so just like with the tail press, to get into this one, we're going to shift our hips over the nose of the snowboard, over our front foot. All the same fundamentals apply. And you can start off just by simply leaning into it. Do a little pop out to get out of it. Just jump off that front leg. Or you can shift that front foot under your hips as well. For both the tail press and the nose press, once you're feeling comfortable and you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can try to ollie into it. So for a tail press, we're going to pop off the nose. For a nose press, we're going to ollie off the tail. And the biggest thing with all butter tricks, I can't stress this enough, pay attention to your edges. And if you start to turn at all, always lean into your uphill edge so you don't catch and fall. All right, let's talk about the butter same way, or butter bagel if you go full 360 with it. It's kind of a progression off of your basic tail press. So we're gonna start off on a slight heel side carve and then lean into that tail press and then bring it to fakie. And the big thing you wanna keep in mind when you're doing this is to balance on your heel side edge, on your uphill edge. That's gonna make sure you don't catch and fall over forward. Other than that, it's exactly the same as your basic tail press. Let's try to get one full 360 around. To do the full bagel, all you gotta do is open your shoulders and let that board naturally come around. Just be very cautious of your edges with all of these butter tricks. The last thing I want is for you guys to catch an edge out here. Another variation of that is going to be the butter pretzel. So this is kind of building off of the nose press. So we're going to be leaning into our front leg for this one. And similar to the bagel, we're going to start on a slight heel side carve and then lean into the nose and pull it back to your regular stance. So the trick to this one is keeping your lead shoulder pointed downhill and not letting it open up. That's going to allow you to bring the board back. Once you feel comfortable with that, you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you can pull your front shoulder back even more and try to do the pretzel 270. It helps to have a little bit of more speed for this one. Remember, again, for this one and all butter tricks, you want to be leaning into your uphill edge. So for this trick, we're leaning onto our heel edge to make sure we don't catch. All right, guys, I feel like this video would not be complete if I didn't bring up the classic tripod. This one's going to be a little bit blind, so make sure you have plenty of space. There's no people around. You're not going to be running into anybody downhill. And there's a few ways that you could do this one, but this is the way that I like to do it, and I think it's going to be the easiest for you to do it as well. So you're going to want to cruise and be able to do a backside swivel. So be able to swivel into your switch stance, and then we're going to lean into our nose, put our hands down kind of like this, and balance on the tip of the nose, and then rotate back to your regular stance. That was it in slow motion. It's going to be way easier with a little bit of speed like this. That's the tripod. Okay, one more as a bonus. Let's talk about the layback. So this one's kind of just for fun when you're goofing around on nice days where you just want to get in the snow a little bit, or, you know, just get a little loose with it. For this one, you're going to start in a squat and then lean back over the tail and place your hands on the ground and really fully lean into that back leg. You kind of want to be in like a crouching tiger jump kick position for this one. It's going to look kind of like this. A little bit of speed can help with this one. And to get out of it, all you got to do is push up off your hands right away. Super mellow. Another really fun one to try out there. You can do this one on boxes too. Let's do one more. All right, guys, I hope y'all found this video helpful. Leave any questions for me down in the comments. I hope you have a great season out there and have fun trying this stuff, getting into more freestyle riding. Drop a like if you got some value. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I appreciate all of you guys. We'll see you in a new one soon.